We have some good news this morning. India and Pakistan have agreed to a lasting, immediate ceasefire between the two nations after a night of intense negotiations, after we saw two nuclear powers in Asia, India and Pakistan, literally shooting at one another. Overnight, India attacked, according to Pakistani officials, several Pakistani military bases, including one near the capital of Islamabad. In response, according to Indian officials, Pakistani military struck a number of targets in India as well. This was the closest that we have been to an all out war between the two nuclear powers in Asia in recent memory. And according to Donald Trump this morning, the two countries, after an intensive night of negotiations and mediation with the United States included, a ceasefire has taken effect at 5 a.m. local time. Now, the question here is, will the ceasefire hold? Hopefully it will, because ultimately, at the end of the day, the last thing anyone wants is a full-scale war between two nuclear powers in Asia. Now, on a personal note, thank you all for standing with me, standing by me, even as MAGA calls for my arrest, my prosecution, for just reporting accurate, timely news. I promise you, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not backing down. This is just the beginning of our work together, and we're going to really continue building this independent media together. So if you want to support my work, please consider clicking the button below, becoming a paid subscriber to my Substack today, or supporting me by sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. But that's not all the news right now. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka was released from custody overnight after being arrested and detained for several hours at the Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Center located in Newark. Baraka, who is a Democratic candidate for governor of New Jersey and also the mayor of Newark, had been protesting the facility's opening alongside multiple members of Congress, Democratic members of Congress, who, according to Congressman Rob Menendez Jr., Congressman Rob Menendez, ICE officials actually accosted them and assaulted these members of Congress. Mayor Baraka has been released officially. He had been arguing that the ICE detention facility lacked proper permits and violated city regulations. We'll see if he is actually charged by Trump administration officials. Trade negotiations are currently underway between the United States and China in Geneva, Switzerland. It's unclear whether or not there'll be any breakthrough today. There have been reports circulating online that the Chinese delegation actually left early. I can say that that report is likely untrue. It's unclear whether or not the Chinese delegation has left yet, and it's unclear where that report has come from and why it's circulating so broadly. The Trump administration is considering temporarily suspending the writ of habeas corpus, which is a legal right that allows people to challenge their detention. It is in a lot of ways the last line of defense between full-blown authoritarianism and where we are currently at. The writ of habeas corpus allows those who are behind bars detained, whether you are an undocumented migrant or even an American citizen detained, where you can go and challenge your unlawful detention in a court of law. A federal judge would then have to decide whether or not you must be released. Well, according to Stephen Miller, the deputy White House chief of staff, talks are underway to potentially suspend that writ. That has only been done 4 times in United States history because it can only be done in times of insurrection, rebellion, or if the United States is under invasion, neither of which are happening right now. Most famously, it was done during the Civil War. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, broke with standard diplomatic practice by not bringing his own interpreter to 3 key meetings with Russian President Vladimir Putin, instead relying on Kremlin-provided translators who, according to U.S. and Western officials, according to NBC News, Witkoff, who is leading talks, met with Putin 3 separate times on February 11th, March 13th, and April 11th. One official noted that if Putin and the translator spoke Russian to one another, Witkoff would not have understood the conversation. Theoretically, Witkoff could have been played by the Russian government. It's unclear whether or not that happened. RFK Jr. is moving forward with his Autism Database. The National Institutes of Health has announced that it will partner with the Medicaid and Medicare to build a, quote, real-world data platform aimed at uncovering the causes of autism. The project will use insurance claims, smartwatch data, health electronic records, all in collaboration with the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is now requiring all states to provide personal information about people receiving food assistance, including their social security numbers, home addresses, and in one case, their citizenship status. A federal judge has temporarily stopped the Trump administration from moving forward with widespread layoffs and restructuring among 20 government agencies. The judge found that the administration, through DOGE, likely overstepped its ability to make such changes. This morning, a magnitude 4.1 earthquake struck eastern Tennessee around 9 a.m., about an hour ago. The epicenter was located in Blount County, about 29 miles south of Knoxville. A federal judge has halted a temporary restraining order, or has issued a temporary restraining order, halting the administration's ability to conduct layoffs as well. At least 6 USAID employees who spoke to the media after believing they had been fired by the Trump administration are now under investigation for for speaking out of turn. Essentially, they are facing possible retaliation for speaking to members of the media. A group of House Democrats has introduced Resolution H.R. 386, which formally condemns Donald Trump for his recent attacks on the free press. Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced that she will not be running for Senate in 2026. Rumeysa Öztürk, a Turkish PhD student at Tufts University, has been officially released from federal immigration custody following a judge's order. And House Republicans have now advanced a series of proposals that will significantly alter retirement planning for many federal workers and reduce federal employee pension benefits. Folks, that's all the news right now. Once again, if you want to support my work, please consider clicking the button below, becoming a paid subscriber to my Substack, or sending a one-time donation to my Venmo, Aaron-Parnas. And I'll see you again this evening.